And good morning. We're here with Steve Tate, all the way from Hamilton, New Zealand. No Fuss Cloud. Good morning, Steve. How are you going?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
Okay, cool. What are you going to talk to us about today?
So our focus here at No Fuss Cloud is apps. So we want to talk today just about a couple of free apps that can help a small business owner save some time and money. And we'll just delve into a little bit of a business case in that area as well.
Okay, awesome. What's the apps that we're going to be discussing?
So we'll look at Hubdoc, which is a free app from Xero that helps automate receipts and supplier invoices into Xero. And we're going to talk about Zapier, which is a fantastic integration tool.
Awesome. Really looking forward to that, Steve. Tell us a little bit more about yourself before we get cracking into that, and about No Fuss Cloud and where that's sitting at.
Sure. So my background is technology and business management. I've been in IT all my working life, delivering software solutions to customers. So very much involved in looking at business process, and bringing IT solutions to help improve that business. I've worked around globally, so did quite a bit of work out of Southeast Asia, and then spent a lot of time in Australia. But we came back here to New Zealand 9 years ago, and my wife established No Fuss Business, which is a bookkeeping and accounting business. And in that space, we spent a lot of time helping customers, again, with business process. So that's where my skills came in, is looking at how information and technology can help small business owners. And so we established No Fuss Cloud this year to really focus in that space outside of the traditional bookkeeping and accounting functions to help, as I say, small business with apps and integration and cloud integration.
So cloud integration, what's that all about?
Yeah. So the benefit, I mean, in the old days, technology was all about buying computers and having them in your office and working on them. Then it got to the stage where you could have them off-site, so you could put them in the cloud. Now the benefit is everything that a small business owner needs to do can be done in the cloud. So you don't have to have applications or software running on computers in-house. You can put it all out in the cloud, have everything backed up for you, have everything available anytime, anywhere, so that you're mobile. So that's really what cloud is about for me.
And you're quite excited about cloud. You even called your business after it, right?
Yeah, I try to find a name that fits. I mean, the No Fuss brand is very much bringing, taking the jargon out of things, not only accounting and bookkeeping, but also out of technology, and translating it into language that regular business owners understand, and doing that without any fuss or bother, or it's just really keeping it relaxed. And this is these are normal everyday tools that you can use in your business. So then the cloud side of it obviously brings the cloud integration into that space.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's get back into it. Let's go and save some money. Right.
Okay, let's look at Hubdoc as the first product. As I say, it's a free product from Xero. It allows you to bring your paper receipts and supplier invoices into Xero. It's a free app if you're on the business edition of Xero, so we'll qualify that. So you need to be on the business edition to access Hubdoc. The beauty is no more glove box or shoe box full of receipts. So the idea is you can get them into the system electronically wherever you are. And the other benefit is suppliers can email invoices directly into Hubdoc. So, and there's other ways to link up suppliers. They're doing a lot of work. Xero's doing a lot of work connecting suppliers, and I'll show you when I do a little bit of a demo in a second. But the idea is, yes, when you leave the shop, not at the end of the week, on the weekend, or next time you're sitting in the pub and want to do your receipts, now. So it means straight away, when you've got that receipt, you come out of the shop and you can get them in the system. And I'm just going to switch here and just show you a little video of how we do that. So basically, you can sign in using your phone to Hubdoc. Once you're in there, you click on the camera icon, take a photo of the receipt, and then click Use Photo, upload that receipt, and you'll see it appear on your phone screen in Hubdoc, ready for processing. So once you've done that, then whoever's running the office and doing the bookkeeping, sorry about that screen, will have the Hubdoc application there ready to process these transactions. So you can see now, here's this receipt that I just took a photograph of, is sitting in my Hubdoc folder. And there's more technicality around looking at what's been processed and reviewed, but again, for today, keep it fairly simple. So if I bring up that receipt, I can see now that Hubdoc has read the supplier. It's got the date of it. It's got the amount. Can't find the reference. So if I wanted to put a reference in there or an invoice number, I could. And I tell it what it is. So this is actually, in general terms, is a receipt for the JCAR expenses. And then what I can do is I can drop down into Xero, treat it as a purchase. I can either publish it as draft or awaiting approval. I can add contacts, and then I can code it directly to an expense account. So if I just code this to office expenses, and this is a new customer, so we'd set up the new customer and create that, and then I just publish that through to Xero, and that's done. It's in Xero, ready for you to approve, and already obviously in your books and ready for you to reconcile against the bank transaction. So really speeds up that process. And the beauty of it is, once you've taken the photo of the receipt and sent it through to Hubdoc, you can throw away the receipt. So no more keeping paper.
Awesome.
So that's yeah. Sorry, Douwe.
I've got a question of a listener, a reviewer.
Sure. Yeah.
This whole thing about security concerns me. And what about sensitive data? Is this safe and is it compliant in terms of keeping everything in the cloud?
Yeah, good. That's a good question. It's pretty critical these days with the amount of hacking and that's going on globally. So everything that Xero does has dual factor authentication. So, it requires additional sign-ons through authenticator apps, and just to help secure the data in the cloud. All the websites are secure websites, so it's all encrypted data as it goes back and forth. Yes, obviously very sensitive, and with Xero being so focused on financial data, they're very conscious of that security, especially with all the links into IRD for tax, etc. And that applies to any cloud app, as you want to make sure that they run securely across the net, B, that the data is adequately secured, access is secured through multi-factor authentication, and also that that data is backed up and you have access to that.
Yeah. Okay. So they've been going for some time, and they're well regarded in terms of that type of software. Plus,
and that multi-factor authentication is a big one. So multi-factor authentication, I think, is essential across anything you're doing in your administration space. Okay.
And Hubdoc is also part of Xero, correct?
Yeah, so Xero is rolling out single sign-on, and so a lot of these apps now you can sign on using your Xero multi-factor sign-on. So you can sign on using your Xero sign-on, and that will allow you to sign into Hubdoc as well.
Cool. We already have somebody saying it's very helpful information there. So let's get on to Zapier.
Zapier, one of my little favorites. Sorry, just some tips and tricks on Hubdoc. I forgot. Just a couple of little things. Watch the company name. So if you're using Hubdoc, where it's reading receipts, sometimes if it misreads the company name, it can create multiple customers inside Xero. So you can merge those, but it's just something to watch out for. And it also remembers the last document type. So if you've got a supplier that's also a customer, or maybe it's a supplier that you then get a credit note for, it's going to remember what the last one was. So that's just a couple of little tricks. It does look for duplicates, so that's a really handy function where it can look for multiple copies of the same piece of data. And it's free with the Xero Business Edition. Now, I just wanted to also show you, with suppliers inside Hubdoc, you can add supplier accounts, and you can see here they already have integration with Bunnings, Farm Source, Office Max, Genesis, so a lot of major suppliers. You can connect your account through Hubdoc, and it will automatically load your invoices from that supplier into Hubdoc. Don't have to touch anything. It will just appear in Hubdoc, ready to be coded up and ready to be passed into Xero. Very handy little feature. Right, that's all. Nothing else on Hubdoc, Douwe?
No, not so far. So let's go.
All right, so Zapier, my favorite little tool. Zapier is a great little tool that has a free version at the lower end to enable you to connect data or connect systems. We use it for a multitude of tasks. So moving data or information from one system to another, things like taking an email and sending it into your customer contacts system. And I've got an example of the business case of a solution that we put in for a customer. You can take a quote and add a job or a task to your system. So just basic stuff to connect, and this may be connecting Excel spreadsheets and maybe connecting different apps. It just helps integrate your systems. So Zapier, because each individual link is called a zap. And if I again switch over to Zapier, so this is the welcome screen when you get into Zapier. And it's as simple as I can say, okay, let's say I've got a quote in Xero that I want to set up onto my job management system. So if I use something like a Trello, which is just like a job management application, I can say, right, I want to search for Xero, and here, click on Xero, and I want to start something in Trello. So I click on key in Trello, and there's Trello there, all ready to go. And it says when this happens, so I'm going to say, okay, when I get a new quote, I want to put create a card, update card, create a card, which is like a job card inside Trello. And then I go away and I set that up. I won't go into the complexities of it because it needs to be signed in, etc. But it's as simple as that if it's a pre-built Zap. So I could do that if I wanted to come from an Excel spreadsheet. So in one of these, if I click on it, I can go Excel, and it may be, and then let's say again, I wanted to do into Xero. Excel into Xero, and I could say, right, when a new row appears on that spreadsheet, and you could do that if you're, say, creating information regarding a job on a spreadsheet, because that's a system that you had, I could automatically then create a sales invoice inside Xero, and it will ask me for details. You can configure fields and stuff as you get into this.
Wow.
So this is just a fantastic little tool to automate integration between systems. And a business case, does that all make sense, Douwe? Did you have a...
Yeah, I think this is creating all sorts of thoughts in my mind on how people can connect up systems that I got running. Like many companies I work with got plenty of different separate systems going on. And, they're quite familiar now with Xero and also the add-on apps. So that's pretty well happening. But the other types of office systems quite often don't integrate.
Correct. Yeah. Especially emails.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at the business case and see.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. We had a customer who has a website set up, and they have contact registration forms on the website where applicants can register for a class. So that information was coming from the website, and it was just a simple Rocket Spark website, so a very basic website to set, easy to set up for a customer. They'd set up a contact form on that website, and it sent them an email to say, right, this customer's registered, but nothing happened with that email. The first thing they wanted to solve was they wanted to, so that email came to admin, and they were having to then create an invoice for that customer. So they were then spending 4 to 5 hours a week manually creating invoices inside Xero to do with those registrations. So very simply, we set up a Zap to take that email and automatically create an invoice inside Xero ready for approval. So it took that, had the data that was in the email, generated an invoice in Xero, left it in the approval tab ready for the administrator to sign off. So we save 3 out of those 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours a week. There's still an approval function, but still we save 3 hours a week. But the added benefit is, as we were looking at that, we took a step back and said, well, what else happens with information? And they needed a database to start tracking the classes, and they were doing it all on spreadsheets. So we just set up a database tool, and we automatically zapped that information into the database. So it set up that registrant going to that class inside the database that they could then use for a multitude of ongoing activity tracking their training schedule. So the simple business case there was 3 hours a week, and if we worked that out at $25 an hour, it was a $3,900 a year saving for an investment of $900 to get the job done. So well worth the investment to get that little zap. And as I say, that's not even calculating the added benefits of setting it up into a database to help them with the remainder of their work. And that's at $25 an hour. They then had the staff have the opportunity to then earn additional revenue. So the idea is you're freeing up time from both yourself and your staff to then go and help customers so that you can earn more revenue. And the question, of course, is what's your time worth? So, $25 an hour for somebody to do it in an admin team. But if you're running the business by yourself, what are you charging out at? So that's the money that you have the opportunity to then save and earn additional revenue from.
Yeah, very
simple business case.
Any other sort of like this is like for people that have websites and what do you call it? Like that type of problem. What about a bit more of an internal sort of system?
So, I mean, yeah, we've done lots of things around inventory management, project management, simple ones. Like we had a tradie customer that, they were managing their jobs in Outlook calendars. And so and then they were having to manually do invoice, etc. So we just put in a job app. So we used ServiceMate, installed the app. The team could then access their jobs on the road. They could load in, immediately invoice the customer on site with the potential then to take payment for that job on site, and all automated into their Xero system. The staff, we saved about 15 or 20 hours a week in labour, and the staff that were doing that work and the admin team, and this is a team of 6 people, it's not a huge company, but it's a team of 6 people, the admin staff then decided that they weren't selling enough consumables, so they spent that time marketing consumables to customers and increased their consumables revenue by 30%. So it's quite easy to see how that time saving can then be used to bring in revenue. But the other one I'd mention is it's quite important to look at even your backbone admin tools like Office or G Suite and what you can do within those free tools. A lot of people don't realize the power that exists with their Outlook 365 license or their G Suite license. So it's really important to look at those tools and say, well, how can I use the to-do lists or the meeting schedules or automatic meeting bookings with customers and set up online go-to meetings or Zoom meetings automatically. That type of thing is, we also find that there's a lot of value in that to customers, even if it's only saving 5 minutes of time. So, a customer wants to make a booking with you, you send them a Calendly link, they can book in at a time that suits them, and that Calendly link automatically sets up a Zoom meeting for you, puts it into the calendar, and sends the customer a reminder the day before the meeting. So that's only going to save you 10 or 15 minutes, but if you add that up over 20 meetings a month or 50 meetings a year or whatever it is, it adds up to a lot of time.
Well, this is all very interesting, Steve. But that's probably about it for what we want to handle today.
Yeah, as I say, there's hundreds of apps and lots of ways to solve problems.
Yeah, that's great. So how would people, I don't know, what we need one way to get all of you?
So I just popped up my email address and phone number on the last slide there. So always happy to get an email, but always happy to have a conversation as well. So give me a call if you've got any issues that you want to talk through with business systems and apps and zaps, as we call them.
That is brilliant. And I think this is probably pretty cool to finish off here. And thank you for your time there, Steve. Love the application of this. I can see probably at the top of my head already 15 cases we can use this in. So really
Great.
lovely.
The other thing we're doing that would offer you, Douwe, and the customers is we're just putting together a how-to video on Hubdoc. So once that's finished over the next few days, we'll forward that through to you. You can send on the link to your customers to have a look at.
Yep, we'll put it on the page, I say, and that'll be great. Thanks so much.
Fantastic. Anytime.
Okay. Catch you up another time. Have a great day.
Cheers, mate. See ya.